Maboneng Precinct just keeps on growing. Today, we're broadcasting from a gallery now. Well, that's where Ayanda is, and I'm going to ask her, what's the address? 281 Commissioner Street. That's the address of where you are. Now I've given it out to all your fans, but hopefully we'll get some people to come and visit it as well. It looks beautiful where you are, Ayanda.
Well, at least they'll get a glimpse of the beautiful works of art that are on display here at the museum. Yes, Leanne, you said it right. We are at the Maboneng Precinct. Now, what you may not know is that the word Maboneng means a place of lights. Its connotative meaning is a place of success, of achievement, of growth, and so hence the phrase Jozi Maboneng. So what better place to launch the Museum of African Designs? And also something that may not be well known is that this place wasn't always the hub of creative activity that it is today. It's gone through a lot of transformation, and one of the organizations that were instrumental in seeing this place develop is the Southern Guild. And with me today is Trevyn McGowan, as she is the co-founder and director of Southern Guild. A very good morning to you, Trevyn, and thanks again for joining us.
Good morning, and thanks very much for having me.
Tell us a bit about what Southern Guild does in the art space.
So Southern Guild has a very particular remit where we represent collectible South African design, both as a showcase to a South African local audience and on the international stage at the most important design fairs around the world.
How important is art in any country, especially such as South Africa?
Art is extraordinarily important. I mean, culture is one of the major healing tools, I think, that we have as a society, and it's a way of reaching out to each other across barriers of language or standing or, culture that really communicates in a way that, perhaps politics or other things don't. So art, for me, is an incredibly important platform.
The main criticism of museums such as this one is that it's high end, it's out of the reach of the majority of South Africans. It's very expensive. What do you have to say about that?
Well, the pieces are expensive. There's no doubting that. But I think what the critical thing is about what Southern Guild does is it pushes the industry and it pushes designers to go further than they would do otherwise. So we say we give a year's notice. We say make the most important thing that you've ever made, your dream piece. Doesn't matter if you can only make one, and by doing that you're pushing the bar higher and higher. That designer's work, because they've pushed themselves further, gets better for their main collection. It inspires other designers, and the idea is not for it to be elitist but to be representative of the very best that we can be, and that's so important on the international stage, because if we can compete with the best names in the world, it brings recognition to South Africa. It brings, next year is World Design Capital in Cape Town. We're having a huge influx of international people, and it's really important that our measure is up to their standard.
And ours is a very diverse country, and you can see the various pieces that are on display today. They are telling a story of a particular corner of South Africa. So it also helps to speak the African agenda, if I would call it that, on a global scale.
Absolutely. I mean, I think what I've encountered when I do show internationally is that the audience really appreciates the layered nature of our work. So there's narrative within there, there's socio-political commentary, there's a link back to organic matter and nature, which we're so inspired by as South Africans. And I think that, what's important is that a piece really can speak about who we are. And that's, in terms of people coming to see the museum, and our exhibition is on until next week, Sunday, on the 3rd, is that it's not only for a certain sector. We've got emerging designers who have just come out of university and the best people in the country, but all people who we think are special and unique in their talent. So you can respond to a piece because it's relating to you on lots of different levels.
So there's also opportunity for the artist to grow and develop and perhaps get some mentorship by showcasing in a scale such as this.
Absolutely, and also we coordinate collaborations between designers. We facilitate awards through the Southern Guild Design Foundation, where we actually sponsor a year's apprenticeship or studio space or production of products. So our idea really is to grow the industry and to grow the emerging design level, because design in South Africa is very young. It's only 15 years old, whereas art and architecture and craft are much older. So it's really important that we nurture and invest in this in this category in our country.
And of course, this exhibition, unless your bank balance allows you to make a purchase, is also for the South African who just wants to appreciate homegrown goods.
Absolutely, and also to be inspired and to understand what this industry is about and to feel that you could perhaps get involved in other ways. I mean, the most exciting thing for me in these exhibitions is when the school children come and you see their response to things that they didn't think a chair could look like that or a light could look like a robot, and the kind of delight and appreciation, because in a way they can identify with furniture more than they can with art, so there's an immediate connection and there's this sort of source of inspiration. So this is open to absolutely everybody, which is a reason why we chose to do it at MOAD in Maboneng.
Thank you so much. Let's leave it there. CEO of Southern Guild, Trevyn McGowan. And let's leave it on that note, because this art is not just pretty to look at, but it's also usable. Make your way this side as far as you can. It's open until next week. We'll give you more details as we continue to cross over.